Join our review of the Seat Leon Cupra RST. Let's go! Normal Seat Leon Cupra already almost comes with full equipment. For example, then you also get the full LED headlamps. Always interesting that those daytime running lights, they are basically replaced by the indicator lights when you use the turning indicators. Always looks pretty amazing. Then the R version here comes with those copper style elements. That's the visual part, also a carbon fiber lower wing right there. And on the technology side, it is a little bit wider as for the Track, and they also stiffened the suspension a little bit. So the same they've done with the R-Hatch, now also with the RST. So it shows a black color here today because this one looks the most aggressive. Recently, I also heard some comments when someone said, oh, I don't want you to use the term aggressive because it's an evil term, but I think we can really say that about that car, especially here in the R version, together with those copper style wheels, 19-inch right there, also with a bigger brake disc, and those Pilot Sport Cup 2 by Michelin. So I'd say you can still drive it on the street, yes, okay, but they're already tuned on a sporty way. Those are 4 real exhaust pipes down here, together with the carbon fiber diffuser, really powerful. Then the Copper Cupra logo. It has also become the real color of the separate Cupra brand, which is already separated in the Cupra Ateca, but here then still with the Seat logo. To me, the normal Seat logo looks a little bit cooler in the copper tone than this tribal Cupra logo. Or what's your take on that? Here we just have an R badge, and that's it then basically. So you don't have this 4-drive that signalizes that it's all-wheel drive, but I can tell you it is all-wheel drive, and we will really use it also on the racetrack later on. Let's open the door. Right there, inside of the doors, you have this carbon fiber fabric. Really interesting. It's also soft. And above that is also some soft touch plastics. Then there's a slim door pocket, for example, for walkie-talkies on the racetrack. This is the optional Beats audio system. It's quite decent, but nothing super special, so to say. Special with this R version, something else. For example, those copper elements here at the air vents. This is one contrast. By the way, also soft touch here at the top dashboard. Then the special Alcantara steering wheel, my favorite. I just love those. And when now someone says, oh yeah, but after a while it wears out a little bit. I mean, first of all, it doesn't wear out that quickly. And you can also, have special cures for those to, bring them back to life a little bit fresher. And I just love them both in winter and summer times. In winter, it feels warm and cozy. In summer, you don't sweat on that so much. I would always go for a microfiber steering wheel. And I mean, if it wears out of a couple of years, at some point you can always, put a new fiber on it if it really gets bad. But I would still go for it. Then again, the Copper Seat logo and the special sport seats. In general, for the Leon Cupra, there are 2 sport seats. The normal one with the separated head restraint. And then those ones here, the super sport seats with the integrated head restraint. For the R, those ones here are reserved. Which one? Well, both are comfortable. I think for comfort, a little bit more prefer the separated headrest ones, but those ones are also pretty cool, with microfiber on the inside, leatherette on the outside. Also a very good mix, which is friendly to the customer and also friendly to animals. So let's bring that to life here. Here again, the copper color accentuations right there. And I like this split here. It's better than in the Volkswagen Golf, where they have this one horizontal panel and then the vertical one right there. So they don't need a separate gap here and to connect this, because this one here, the upper part, overlaps the lower one a little bit. Cleverly done. Sport information gauge here, for example, available, but you can also have a hotkey directly to jump to the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. That works flawlessly. And when you go to the main menu, you can have this app view, for example, also the GPS. And overall, this system here is kept quite simple. This loading time should be a little bit faster though. But other than that, how to control everything, you don't need to learn it for hours and hours. Pinch and zoom. Again, reaction times could be a little bit better. This is not the very newest software platform they have in this vehicle here, but you can see here control on the left lower side, for example, the last destinations and so on. Here again to the full link to the control. You can also connect your phone by Bluetooth, but other than that, down with the cable, then also just with the plug. The RST also comes with digital gauges, so you're quite flexible as for that. Speed, you can see on the right side, but you can also have the GPS view in there. That's quite handy. For example, you can have this one here a little bit more zoomed in, and then maybe the right side map, which works at the same time. So you can have the map right there and in the central infotainment system. That's totally okay here with the car. Also radio or telephone info or something like that. Or maybe a lap timer. That could have been a good use for today. This is one of the disadvantages of those super sport seats. You can see you can still sit with 4 tall adults in this car. That's totally fine. If you want a little bit more legroom and you order a normal Seat Leon Cupra, then you could also go for the standard sport seats with a separated head restraint, and they then have a little bit more legroom in the rear because they're not that wide. But here in the RST, that's how it is. I think you can still see it's still fine. Headroom also still fine in the rear, so the overall package of the car is actually quite nice. It's not too, not too big, and also the seating comfort here is absolutely fine. So this is one of the key elements. It is a racy car, not a race car, but a racy car, and you can still very well use it in everyday driving life. And considering you don't have too much space here on the middle seat, they put the ground material actually not too hard, so it's actually quite soft still to sit here on the middle part. I mean, why not? So it looks stiff, but it isn't. See, it's quite soft, so that's a very interesting idea. Then let's open it right here. You have, some decent amount of space. I also like that they have a very clean solution here for the top cover. Right there, rails on the side, super clean, super high quality, and just press it once, and that's it. Also, here, some space for a replacement tire or additional sound system. You can pick that then. And you can flip those seats from here, like this, and you see they flip properly. That's very well done, pretty cool. And then you have even more space. So, under the hood, no hydraulic struts. With a nice Cupra logo right there. 2-liter TSI turbo petrol engine, 300 horsepower, and the acceleration figure is 4.9 seconds to 100 kilometers or 62 miles an hour. More grip to the ground here due to the all-wheel drive. Front plus all-wheel drive on demand. Of course, if you use that launch control, then you can bring the maximum performance to that one. So, Thomas's active driving review. We're in the Cupra mode, and let's go on the racetrack. With the Leon Cupra RST, the estate. And we're on this circuit here in Mallorca. We've been here with the Golf R before, so we can also very well compare that. Here. Very direct from the steering wheel. So I have a very good grip also with this microfiber surface. That's really nice. Staying close on the inside. I feel it's an all-wheel drive car. But of course the focus is the front-wheel drive, so it's not a rear-wheel dominant car. So maximum of 50% torque to the rear axle. In front of us now a Cupra attacker with Klaus Niedzwitz on board, former racing driver. So one of my TV colleagues here. And well, this is not a very fast track. But for a compact vehicle, it's actually quite cool. 300 horsepower right there, delivered, and of course the all-wheel drive helps me to deliver it somewhat to the ground. Because just with the front wheels, I mean, yeah, the Leon offers this front wheel differential lock, but still, I also have some torque on the rear, and that helps me to accelerate out of the corners. It brings up the weight of the car, so a professional race driver will be faster with the front-wheel driven only car. But it's really nice to have the all-wheel drive to give some additional power into the car. This one then, by the way, is the assistance system. So this car is not really meant to be driven on the racetrack because it still has those assistance systems on, so to say. But we have deactivated the ESC completely. We can do that with a button, so that's actually no problem. 2 steps, ESC Sport, and here I've deactivated it completely because we're here on the dry racetrack and there's really hardly any slip or so from the road, so this is totally fine then with me. So I can also have it deactivated. On the road you would leave it activated. Here, look, I don't have to steer that much. I really like this direct steering they have. Progressive steering they call it in the Volkswagen Group, and really gives us good performance. And again, together with the microfiber steering wheel, I mean, it's getting a little bit hot in here also at those temperatures. I can still remain good grip. Look at the acceleration. 114 kilometers now, 150. I don't want to stretch it here too much. We've also seen the launch control earlier. Very interesting how this goes to 100 kilometers. And well, if it's an R, do you feel it? Not really. I mean, it's more this special edition. It's really more interesting in general with this vehicle because it feels compact. It is compact. Does it feel much different than the hatch? Not really. They have the same wheelbase, so it's basically as agile as the hatch. The hatch may be a little bit lighter, a little bit less overhang, so yes, it is a little bit more agile. Oh, there was some power missing there, right? Maybe like a wrong shift from DSG or something. But other than that, so far DSG delivers a good performance. So the gears are shifted through quite well and also smooth. So the key of this vehicle is really, it is easy to control, easy to steer. So it doesn't exaggerate things. It really stays honest. You know what you're doing, even if you're not like a super trained professional racing driver. Yin and yang, black and white. Well, that's also something of the conclusion for the day, because the Seat Leon Cupra R ST can be both a family carrier with a decent trunk, decent space on the rear compartment there for the passengers, and also with a nice build quality on the interior, a lot of Alcantara accentuations, so very well thought out, and let's say an easy to use interior too, so something you can really use every day and so on, but you can also take it out to the racetrack and show some performance. No, it's not a complete, pure race car, and you feel that when you really hammer it on the racetrack and then you see that something starts smoking after a while, you may say, maybe the car is also, maybe we shouldn't take it too hard. So no, it's not a pure race car, but it also doesn't have to be. However, you can have some decent fun on the racetrack and really gives you always some quite good performance. So as an everyday racer, where you can a little bit go for, a little bit faster on the motorway, accelerate out on the countryside roads and so on. Be safe always, of course. For example, with the all-wheel drive, they can also use it when it's wet. As for the acceleration, physical limits, of course, always apply in the corners. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was really a pleasure to do this one here together with you. I hope you enjoyed it as well as me, Thomas, and also Jonas behind the camera, and see you next time.